is not financial advice, and I'm not your financial advisor. So before you start investing, please do your due diligence and make sure it's the right investment for you, because I could be 100% wrong. Okay, so let me share the charts. Let's look at the Bitcoin price action for the moment. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin price chart. Okay, let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin had a bit of a trend line, like it went all the way to 69, as you guys can see here, and dropped, and then it broke above this downtrend, and then since then we have seen it's gone up a lot higher. And the extreme fear during when Bitcoin dropped to 33,000, 32,000, the extreme fear, we've seen extreme fear like on the fear and greed index, and we've seen RSI drop to oversold levels right here. So that would have been like a great opportunity for us to get into this market, right? So people who bought at this time, they are now in profits, definitely. But recently we've noticed, so from 33,000, Bitcoin went all the way up to 45, and recently we've seen a bit of a correction, I would say, regards to inflation, like, being high for 40 years. Like, last time we've seen this much of inflation, that was like in 1982, like 40 years ago. So inflation has gone up so high, and then they were talking about there's a war in between Ukraine and Russia. So there was a bit of a uncertainty when we got to like 45,000. So traditional market reacted. They're so volatile. One day I've seen Nasdaq down like 3%. Next day it's up by 2.5%. So you've seen so much volatility, and that did not help this bull trend that we continued, like, from oversold levels, unfortunately. But still, looking at this short-term trend we're looking at right now, this trend right here, right? I broke this downtrend, which is a good thing, and we've been making a low, higher low, and then there's another higher low here. So this is uptrending. It's a good thing. And if you look at the highs for this trend, there's a high here, and there's another high here, another high here. It looks as if we're gonna make another higher high, but we still have to wait and see, right? It's not too sure. But as long as Bitcoin's gonna hold stay above 41,000, right? Things not gonna be too bearish, right? But we were expecting Bitcoin to go to 52,000, but there was a bit of a worry last week, especially last Friday, that if there's some kind of a war between Russia and Ukraine, and or if Federal Reserve gonna increase interest rates all of a sudden, then we might see the Nasdaq might go down a lot. So I've done a video last time. If that has happened, it would have dragged Bitcoin down with it. So far it hasn't happened, and the Fed meeting minutes, no one knows what has happened. Like, because it's a closed meeting, they did not disclose anything what they discussed. It seems as if they would like to wait till end of February to see how the inflation gonna go through the month of February, and then they might react on March, mid March or so. So because of that, market thought, or maybe like if there's emergency, they would have increased interest rates straight away, because they didn't do anything. Market probably thought, okay, it's nothing big, so looks like they just shrugged off all these fears, and then traditional markets, for example, Nasdaq pumped from here. We've seen like not 2%, 2.5% up overnight. That's for Nasdaq. And still Nasdaq have this downtrend, right? It got rejected over here. So even though Bitcoin is looking good, it has gone above this downtrend. Nasdaq hasn't done it so far. So I would like to see, given that Nasdaq is tech heavy and it's so correlated to Bitcoin price action, I would like to see Nasdaq break above this trend line and make like a higher high and a higher low, right? And then that would probably help Bitcoin as well. So this is the update for Bitcoin so far. Yeah, so when I made a video on Sunday. The intention, I did not ask anyone to sell everything and like get out of the market expecting a crash, like, because it's not going to happen. And let's not forget, even if this is the daily chart, even if we look at the super trend, we already got a buy signal for super trend here over here. So this is a pretty good sign, actually, meaning that we have started an uptrend. We are like maybe a week earlier, we got most of our coins like somewhere over here. All right, and then now we've seen a buy signal for this super trend. And look at this, like when Bitcoin dropped to 60 from 69, we've seen like a sell signal for this super trend. So this is like a very reliable indicator that you could have. It's called super trend right here. So it's been like sell since 18th of November, and it turned green on 7th of February. So we are still in this uptrend right now. But let's not forget, technically we are still in a bear market, right? This is the 200-week, 200-day moving average. So whenever we are below this 200-week moving average, or when we are below 21-week moving average, we can consider technically we are in a bear market. So Bitcoin has to go above 49,500 in order to get above this 200-day moving average. And when that happens, if it goes above and then retest and it stay above this level, this 200-day moving average, that will be really good for all coins, right? We can see all coins could pump a lot higher whenever Bitcoin is about 200-day moving average, because then people consider it as a bull market. And when when Bitcoin is in a bull market, people are not worried to speculate on small asset classes like micro cap coins, even mid cap coins, right? So that's what we are expecting to see. We still got there's a little bit of work to do, but things are looking good so far. But do not forget, right? This is nothing certain. It's not that I'm gonna say exactly we're gonna see this, right? Maybe 60-70% chance that we will continue this uptrend. But who knows, if there's some kind of a unexpected event, right? Let's say like a natural disaster, tsunami, or like a war against, like, war between Russia and Ukraine, or if Federal Reserve come out all of a sudden and say, okay, things are looking really bad, we have to increase interest rates by like 100 basis points, something like that happens, we could see a correction, right? So as I always say, like, regardless of the market condition, always make sure we have AUD or USDT or USDC just in case. So don't go all in, and even though we've seen like uptrend, don't go all in. Just have maybe 10 to like 15% in cash, just in case if you are wrong. If it comes down, then you have a bit of firepower to get back in. So don't forget that. That's important. And then this is the Bitcoin price at the moment. So we can also look at ETH. Yeah, so not only on Bitcoin, even on ETH, we have seen a buy signal, right? So it looks like a bull trend has started. So that's what it seems. As you can see here, when Bitcoin dropped from 60 to 30,000, and then it consolidated and dropped down to like 29. And when it got above, when it has gone above 33,000, we've seen, oh no, about 35,000, 36,000, we've seen like a buy signal. where we saw like uptrend all the way up to 69,000. So this buy signal, I'm really relying on by this buy signal. Unfortunately, if there's some unexpected event, if this candle drops down, then it'll turn back into, it'll probably turn to sell instead of buy. So that's something we need to wait and see. We can also have a look at the Ichimoku cloud. Yeah, so on the daily, this is what, that's why I said we still got some work to do. We are not out of the woods. I would like to see Bitcoin go above this Ichimoku cloud. So this is the sell pressure that it has. I would like to see it breaks above this area and then go somewhere over here, and then we can have a bit of support on this cloud, above this cloud, this red cloud right here. And then that'll be like, there's a bit of support like on top of this cloud. So that's why we are somewhere here at the moment. So we got a little bit of work to do. I would like to see it go above this Ichimoku red cloud and stay above, and that could support higher prices. Yes, Ichimoku. And then if you look at the bands, yeah, we can see there's this 5-8 SMA cross 20 SMA. That's a good thing. So it's a bullish cross, and I would like to see this cross 50 SMA and then 100 EMAs over here. So there's a lot of resistance in this area. This is we have to wait and see. So that's why we expect Bitcoin needs to consolidate. Can't break below 41,000 if it wants to go a lot higher. And yeah, this is the Bollinger Band. So it's somewhere near upper Bollinger Band right now. So as you can see here, it dropped and gone below this blue low Bollinger Band and recovered, went all the way back up to upper Bollinger Band and dropped back to this midpoint. And then since then, it's somewhere here, like trying to consolidate. So this Bollinger Band is a pretty good indicator as well. It helps you to find out whether we are in oversold conditions or overbought conditions. So for example, over here, you can see this wick, this red wick, and this is like oversold condition, and a quick recovered and went back up higher, right? So if we see the price goes above this red line, then that means we are in overbought territory. That means the price might correct and come back down. So Bitcoin has a little bit of work to do. We have to wait and see how it's gonna hold the price. As long as it holds above 40. Sorry, this is the Ethereum chart actually. So as long as it's hold 2,840 for Ethereum, it's looking good. So let's go back to actually this chart right here, and I think Ethereum and Bitcoin looks pretty much the same. Yeah, so same thing for Bitcoin as well. So I was actually looking at Ethereum chart before. So even for Bitcoin, yeah, so we need to get back above this Ichimoku cloud and hold above this cloud, to see further higher prices. So that's Ichimoku. This is the SSL hybrid. So it tells you the trend reversal. So when it's blue, that means we are in an uptrend, which is a good thing right now. And when it's red, we can see clearly it's in a downtrend. So that's what we've seen so far. Red, downtrend, blue, uptrend. So we can see it has turned back around. So it's holding above these trend lines, which is a good thing. So we have to wait and see. Yeah, so this is like a quick Bitcoin update. And Ethereum we just discussed before. Yes, we can look at all coins. Yeah, before I do that, let's go to Bitcoin price right now. Okay, so let's do like a Fibonacci retracement from 69,000 down to this level. Yeah, so our expectation is that Bitcoin will recover, and also need to mention we have a head and shoulders pattern right here. This sort of head and shoulder pattern, and now we are at the neckline. So when it breaks above, so there's a lot of resistance right here. When it breaks above this trend line, we could expect to see Bitcoin. If this trend, this pattern gonna pan out, we could see Bitcoin from here to about 55,000, maybe like about 55 or 52,000 or so. So this is a head and shoulders pattern. This is, we have to wait and see. So it's right at the breaking point right now. So we have to wait and see what we could do. If that happens, we're gonna go about 200-day moving average, right? And then that will be really good. So we have to wait and see for the head and shoulders pattern to pan out. Yeah, so looking at the Fibonacci, so this is the high, all-time highs, 69,000, and then it dropped to 33,000, right? So if you do like a Fibonacci retracement from 69 to 33, the golden retracement, which is 0.618, is at 55,033. So when I see Bitcoin back at this 55,000, like above 50,000, it could go all the way to 0.786, which is like 61,400. When Bitcoin is above 50,000, 50 to 60,000 level, that's where I'm gonna take some profit out just in case, right? Because I have a feeling it might make like a head and shoulders pattern, like on the weekly chart. So for example, like this could be like a massive head and shoulders pattern. And if it goes above, and then this is we call this like a head and shoulders pattern. Actually, this one we discussed before is an inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. This one, this is the inverse head and shoulders pattern. So this is the neckline. So this is a bit different. This is bullish, this is bearish. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, expecting Bitcoin to go above 50,000, and if you're lucky, it could go all the way to 60,000, or some it could get rejected where 0.618 is at, which is like 55,000. That's when I'm planning to take profit from Bitcoin. But let's not forget, 2 weeks later, we'll see all coins tend to pump, right? A week later, when Bitcoin consolidate in this area, if it's going to go higher, and when it consolidates around about 50,000 or 55,000, that's when we would probably see all coins. 2 weeks later, we'll see all coins tend to go upload higher, right? So from Bitcoin, I would take profit if Bitcoin goes up to 55,000. All coins, I'm not going to do that all of a sudden. I'll probably wait for a week or two, because it needs time for all coins to follow Bitcoin, right? So that's the plan. Let's see. Okay, so let's look at the altcoins right now. Okay, let's go to, yeah, some of these altcoins are still cheap, and we already discussed about the SLP. Like, it dropped from 42 cents to like 1 cent or below 1 cent, and since then we have seen like 300-400% pump. And I've been asking people to to invest in this coin if you would like to, and I've taken some profit out already. But let's not forget, this coin is extremely oversold. Maybe we can do a quick Fibonacci retracement on this one as well. One second. Yeah, so let's do a Fibonacci retracement on SLP. The recent pump that we've seen. On the top, the bottom. Yeah, so now it's at 0 point. Hold on a second. I need to reverse this actually. Okay, so this is the I'm using the Fibonacci retracement for the SLP, the bull trend that we've seen, like the mini bull trend. So from 0.0089, it pumped all the way to 409, 4.09 cents, right? And then I've taken profit somewhere near 3.8 cents, 85 cents or so. And now it's at 0.38. It dropped to 0.5. There's a chance that it could come back to revisit 0.618 level. So this is like a golden retracement, right? Every time a coin goes up or down, we tend to see it comes come back and retest this level right here, 0.618 level, which is like 2 cents, 2.1 cent, right? It's not, I'm not saying that it'll come back there for sure, right? Because if there's a lot of demand for SLP, it might not come back down. It just consolidate in this area and then it shoot back, shoot up a lot higher. So when you take profit, for which make sure you're not going to go all out. So you take some out and then leave some behind just in case. And if it keeps on pumping high, you can keep on taking profits, like at 5 cents, 10 cents, likewise. So that's SLP. Hopefully I'm planning to add more if it comes back down to like 2 cents area, but we have to wait and see. And Telcoin, recently these coins actually dropped a bit compared to last time. As you can see here, it dropped, and this is Telcoin. It dropped and then it recovered. It's still in a bull trend, but still oversold. Like if you look at the RSI, it has come out from oversold levels, but now if you look at the RSI, somewhere near 50, like mid area, so it's not overbought or oversold. But this coin has a lot of room to cover, like it can go a lot higher. That's Telcoin. And let's not forget Hero, AI, Block. These are metaverse tokens, and even Wild is a pretty good metaverse token. Gala is a really good metaverse token. UFO metaverse tokens. I've allocated like 40% of my portfolio into metaverse tokens because in 2022 metaverse tokens is going to be huge. There'll be a lot of demand for these metaverse tokens this year. So that's why I make sure that I have enough, like 30 to 40% of my portfolio is allocated for metaverse tokens. So Hero recently just pumped a bit. It's recovered from oversold levels, and now it's gone closer to overbought territory. Maybe it's like it needs to cool down a bit. And this is like a pretty good metaverse project as well. And Wild is also like a really good project. This one dropped from $7 to about like down to about like 136, right? For all the way from $7. So even if it goes back to 0.618, it'll probably could go all the way up to like $5.30. So these metaverse tokens, like make sure you have like a bit of allocation. And also, yeah, always when you invest 50% in Bitcoin, 20 to 30% in Ethereum, and the other 30% we can invest in this micro cap, mid cap, large cap coins, right? So make sure majority of your portfolio in Bitcoin, because if there's a bigger crash, because of like some natural disaster or something that we don't expect, Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin gonna drop, it'll recover eventually, right? Some of the coins might drop and might not recover for a long time. So majority of your portfolio should be in Bitcoin, and then Ethereum, and then large cap, mid cap, small cap, and micro cap likewise. So these Hero, AI, Block, these are metaverse tokens. Raka, this is also a metaverse token. You can buy these tokens on KuCoin. If not, you can buy it on Gate.io. So this is how you figure out where to buy these coins. Say, for example, if you want to buy Wild, right, you just go to Coin Market Cap and then just type Wild, and then you see this coin Wild the World, right? Just click on that, and this is the coin. So that we just bought this coin like below 150. Now it's gone up. So now when you are here on Coin Market Cap, then what you do, you go to market, and when you go here, it tells you which exchange you can buy it from. So you can buy this coin from KuCoin, Gate.io, Bitfinex, Uniswap. So there it tells you where you can buy it. So it's not on Binance. That means you have to open up an account on KuCoin or Gate.io. Same with any other token. Let's say, for example, you want to buy a metaverse token, which is Raka, Radio Kaka, right? So it's Radio Kaka. This is like a very cheap coin, as you can see. You just go to market, and you can see as you have to buy it on Gate.io. Uniswap, Polonix, this is where you can buy it from Radio Kaka. So this is how you find out like where to buy your coins. For example, let's say AI, Multiverse. This is a metaverse token as well, 1.2 cents. Click on market, and you can see you can buy it on KuCoin. So this is how you figure out where you can buy these coins. Okay, let's get back to chart. So yeah, these metaverse tokens, don't forget, they're gonna, when they go higher, it'll be huge. They are the future. So metaverse tokens gonna be very popular for a short period of time, maybe for 6 to 1 year or so. And when they pump so high, we just take profit and get out. We're not gonna rely so much on these projects because it could be like short-term hype. So we buy now, wait for the short-term hype to come in. When the coin pumps, we take profit and get out, and then, or you can sell some altcoins and get back into Bitcoin, right? You can take profit from altcoins, buy some Bitcoin, and then take some out as AUD or USDT, and you can keep that aside for a rainy day or to buy back if we're gonna go into a bigger bear market. Yeah, so that's all from my end. Yeah, so keep an eye on that inverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish pattern on Bitcoin price chart. That could be good news if it pumps, if it breaks out and go all the way like above 200-day moving average, and things could get really bullish. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that, like in the coming couple of days. Yep. So that's that. I mean, that's it from my end, I guess. And I also bought some bull like leverage tokens. So this is, and I'm not recommending any of these coins because they are highly volatile. But if you want like a quick buck, like from, let's say if you buy Bitcoin bull instead of Bitcoin, you have to buy Bitcoin. But apart from that, if you buy Bitcoin bull, when Bitcoin goes up, goes up a lot higher. But on the other hand, when Bitcoin goes down, say right now Bitcoin is down like 0.76, but the Bitcoin bull is down about like 2%. When it goes the other way around, you could lose a lot of money. But as long as you're not going to sell it, eventually you make money. But you gotta be careful with these bull tokens and bear tokens, right? You can buy bear. Bear tokens means like say Ethereum bear. Like Ethereum goes down, Ethereum bear is inversely correlated and it goes up in value. So we call that like Ethereum bear. Ethereum bull, when Ethereum goes up, it is correlated. It goes up with Ethereum, but you get magnified gains from them. Like when Ethereum pumps like 10%, this could pump like 30%. So that's how it goes. But they're highly volatile. So you got to be very careful with these leverage tokens. So this is not financial advice. Okay, so that's the update from my end. So do you guys have any questions?
Hi, Lakal, the bull coins, do they have expiry date?
No, no. I've been holding them for like maybe some of them for like more than 3-4 months. So far, I haven't seen expiry date for them. You can hold it for a long time. There's no problem. It's actually safer than like leverage trading, right? If you do leverage trading, then you have to have a stop loss. Leverage trading means like you put like $100 and you borrow 90%, right? And you put 100, then you borrow 90%, then you have $1,000, and you bet Bitcoin price will go above, like, to a certain price where you could get profit. But if Bitcoin price goes down, so you probably, the Bitcoin is going higher, if you're expecting Bitcoin to go higher, then you can long Bitcoin. That's called like trading, leverage trading. If it goes down, you can short it. But if you long and the Bitcoin price drop, if it goes the other way, if you don't have a stop loss, you tend to lose your money, because it went the other way, right? But the good thing about leverage tokens is you can buy and hold them for long term, right? Nothing will happen. Even if the price goes down, yes, you probably lose like 30, 40, 50% in like, maybe a day or two if Bitcoin goes the other way. But still you can hold it, and when Bitcoin recovers, it will recover, and then you can make more money. But this is very volatile, so it's too risky as well. I mean, if you're not familiar with this sort of tokens, right, you rather not buy it, because you might not be able to sleep, because if something goes the other way, right, and you expect Bitcoin to go higher, if you buy bull tokens, it could lose so much of value. But as long as you're going to hold it, there's no problem. That this is okay. The thing is, the good thing about these bull and bear tokens, like if you just buy Bitcoin, when Bitcoin goes down, you got nothing to do, right? You just wait, or you have to have your own money to buy more Bitcoin, right? You need to have AUD or USD to add more tokens to your wallet, to your portfolio. But the good thing about leverage tokens is like, even when the market is going down, you can still make money. So for example, at the top, when Bitcoin hit like 65,000, 69,000, if you bought like bear tokens, right, you could have made a lot of money, because on the way when Bitcoin keeps on going down, the bear token is inversely correlated. It tends to go up in value, right, because it goes a lot higher, and you can use that money to buy back Bitcoin at lower prices. So that's what most people do. So even regardless whether the market is up or down, you can still make money from these leverage tokens. So it's like really good asset classes, but it's highly volatile. You need to have a lot of experience to buy and hold them, because if things go the other way, you could lose a lot of money. I mean, you lose money if you sell it, but on paper value, you could drop like 30, 40, 50% in a couple of days, and you should be able to, like, not to worry when that happens, because if you get worried and sell, then you tend to lose like 30, 40, 50% in, like, in few days or so. Yeah, so that's that. Any other questions you have?
So at the moment, we don't know how long these BTC will just remain like this. There's nothing until unless it's any special news comes, it probably not go up or down for some time. It could be just go sideways. Is that something?
Yeah, see, like, there are in 2018, I've seen Bitcoin, like, for like 3 months, just consolidated for 3 months, did not do anything. But given that we coming from oversold levels, we could expect Bitcoin to go at least like a little bit higher, at least about like 50,000. And also, given that we have these inverse head and shoulders, right? So which is this one right here. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, so this inverse we have this inverse head and shoulders. if this one gonna play out, right? So this is the shoulder, this is the head, and this is the other shoulder. So this is the breakout point right there. Yeah, so we are at, that's why there's a lot of resistance here, I think. So this one has to play out soon, like, you know, within a couple of days or so, if it's gonna happen, right? Otherwise, yeah, this one, yeah, has to happen. But normally, yeah, like, you know, going back to your question, have a look at this white line, right? This is the 200-day moving average. So normally what happens, let me zoom in. Yeah, so what we've seen in the past, this is the white line, this is the 200-day moving average. So whenever Bitcoin is above this 200-day moving average, we consider it's a bull market. So this is like a total bull market, and this is, we call it like, you know, a short-term bear market. So what we notice, every time when Bitcoin price goes above this white line, it tends to pull it back down to this line. So that's what we've seen. So it kept on going like far away, like, you know, the price pumped like far away from 200-day moving average. And then what it normally does is, like, you know, it pull it back down towards the line, and then that happens, and then it just gone below. And when that happens, it tend to, like, you know, pull it back up. So that's what we've seen. So we've seen it gone above like this, and then come back down, went back up, went back down, and then went back higher. So given that we are like gone back down, like, you know, far away from it, we could expect to see it cross like sooner, and, like, you know, maybe in few weeks, like, you know, maybe 3-4 weeks, a month or so, it has to either go there, get rejected and come back down, or it'll break above and then go a lot higher and test it as support, and then it could go back up to like 50,000, 55,000 or so, as we expect. So so given that we are far away from this line still, like, you know, we are just probably 5,000 away from this line, we could expect, like, you know, it'll pull it back towards this line, and then it'll probably break above this line and could go higher. So this might happen in a few weeks, I guess, like, you know, I mean, maybe in a couple of weeks or so, we might need to see either it goes closer to it, get rejected and come back down, or it'll probably go beyond it, and, you know, go to like maybe 52,000 to 55,000. So that's what I'd expect, but anything is possible. Like, as I said, like, you know, if something happens like that we don't expect, like COVID, no one knew that COVID would happen, right? So some similar event happens, then we can see further downside. But let's not forget, like, you know, Bitcoin dropped from 69 to almost 33,000, right? So it's a 50% correction. So a lot of bears, I guess, I'm pretty sure they bought so much Bitcoin at this level, so they would like to see it pump above 50,000 or towards 52 to 55, and then probably they'll sell and get out, you know, and then we might see further down. But 100k Bitcoin, we are too early for that, right? We might see 100k Bitcoin probably towards the end of this year. So that's what I expect. Okay, any other questions you have? Okay, so looks like that's it for today. Okay, then. So this is the end of the Zoom midweek Zoom session for Bitcoin and altcoins. So I appreciate your time. I'll probably see you next Wednesday. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.